Hey y'all, it's me, Shea Butter Love, popping in on this beautiful day. It's been a while since I've dropped a video, but I'm back and I hope that you guys tune in and you receive the message that I have for you today. I haven't done a video, I want to say, in maybe about a month and some change as far as for my YouTube. If you are new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the message if you know that somebody can benefit from it, or if you want to keep it for your own archives. So today's message is going to be on anxiety. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So for some of you that do not know, I am a social work major. I've studied for years in the fields of sociology, psychology, as well as social work. And that is my area of interest. I'm very interested in mental health, spiritual health, emotional health, and I'm very well versed in it for experience purposes as well, due to my life experience. So I want to talk about anxiety today. I had been wanting to do a video for a while, but I had some life things taking place, some personal things in my life going on, and I have a very busy schedule nowadays. My business is growing tremendously, and I am just in a state of moving a lot right now, as far as for various reasons, right? Family issues, different things. I am really in a matriarch position right now, so my life is just really full. So I knew that when I did this video, I wanted it to come from a place of peace. I wanted it to come from a place of authenticity. I did not want to be trying to make a video just to fill a spot. I like to do my videos authentically, and I like to connect to my audience in a real way, which is the reason why, for you guys that are here, I do not edit my videos. My videos are recorded once and once only, and then we put them out there. So if you see a blooper in the past on some of my videos, we've had my phone fall, we've had loud noises take place, and we keep on rolling because I believe in truly being yourself. People connect to people that are easily themselves, and this actually ties into the topic of anxiety. So anxiety is a condition in which the mind and the body is responding to fight or flight mode. You're in a state of fight or flight all the time, or you're in a state of fight or flight due to being triggered by something. Anxiety is something that's talked about a lot in the music industry. People have recorded songs talking about it. It's talked about heavily in the mental health industry. It is talked about heavily on social media. It is very common. I think it's something that has always been in the human psyche and body all the time, but it didn't always have a name. So I know that before the term anxiety, you might have heard the term fight or flight. It is very much so the same emotion and feeling that has taken place, but what you can experience within that space can vary. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to talk about some of the physical feelings that you can have when it comes to anxiety, because a lot of people don't understand that anxiety not only affects the mind, but it affects the body, because the mind and the body are one. A lot of people separate them, but the mind is the body. You understand what I'm saying? So some of the things that you could feel if you are having anxiety is divided into different sectors, but I'm speaking in a general sense. If you're having anxiety, which can trigger a panic attack, some of the things that you can experience in the physical are a stomach ache, a upset digestive system, like you may feel like you need to go use the bathroom. You might feel indigestion. You might begin to feel heartburn. You may begin to feel your heart race. You may begin to feel like your thoughts are racing. You may begin to feel like your mouth is dry. You may begin to feel like you are in a rush to do something and you don't know what. You may begin to feel your hands are clammy. You may begin to feel your hands get cold. You may begin to feel shortness of breath. These are some of the physical things that can take place. If you are still with me below, please drop a thumbs up and tell me what some of the things that you might have experienced or know people to experience with anxiety. I can go into a bunch of other things, and I want to go into some of them specifically connecting to where we create a panic attack. So anxiety is something that excuse me, can be triggered by events. It can be triggered by people. Sometimes people can trigger your anxiety if they're high strung, overbearing, or even sometimes ignoring you or tuning you out. When it comes to the mental aspect, you can live in your head a lot. A person that deals with anxiety lives in their head a lot. You're overthinking things. You're over-assuming things. You are in a space where you are choosing to live almost in a state of mind that is rushing. You're always on the go. You got 500 tabs open. So the reason I wanted to speak on this, because this is something that I have directly experienced in my life. A lot of people don't know that. I like to speak on things that I have experience in, that I have full-blown gone through the lifespan of experiencing, and I have came out on a great side. So for me, I think the first time that I could remember feeling anxious about something was when I was about 19 years old, possibly. And it was something that came over me very quick, and it didn't last, and I didn't know what was happening. I dismissed it. I went on about my day, and I went to work. And then I had my children. I became a mother at the age of 21. That's when I started to have children. And by the time I had my second son, I was in my late 20s. And that is when I began to experience anxiety. Sometimes it would feel like I was trapped. I think that a lot of people, they can relate to that notion of feeling like you're confined within your own mind and body at times, and sometimes feeling confined within a space. And so throughout my own experience, I knew that it was something that I would need to conquer in a holistic and natural way. And I didn't want to involve people because I knew that people did not understand. I remember speaking about it to a couple of people, and their suggestions made no sense. One of the suggestions was, well, maybe you should go to church more often. Like, no, this is not a spiritual or a religious matter. This is something that is going on with my physical body and my mind, my mental. And there are levels to anxiety. You know, there are people that are out here that have generalized anxiety where they have to actually take some form of therapy and meds. And then there's people out here that are diagnosed with higher levels of anxiety that result in frequent panic attacks. Because I believe that for panic attacks, anxiety is definitely a prerequisite. If you have had a panic attack, you definitely have some form of anxiety. You've experienced anxiety because the two go hand in hand. So I don't only want to talk about the symptoms. I don't only want to talk about my stories because I don't want to get too detailed into what, that aspect of my story. But I do want to tell people that I have experienced it for a number of years of my life where I had to really fight for myself. And it was nothing that I could run to anybody to. I mean, some of the triggers of anxiety and panic attacks, which I'm going to start talking a little bit more into the panic mode. But some of the things that could trigger your anxiety could be traffic. It could be too much noise. It could be a heartbreak. It could be a first date. It could be a first day of school. It could be a first day on the job. It could be a fight. It could be an argument. It could be various things. You finding out your life is getting ready to change in a significant way that you're not prepared for. But what I want to also shine a little bit of light on while I'm thinking about it, because y'all know I free flow this. I don't prepare. I don't have notes. I'm very much so just in my authentic space. I allow spirit to use me. But what I wanted to also talk about is the fact that anxiety does serve a purpose. And I think that it's a super negative light shined on it. And I can relate to the reason why that is possibly happening, because of the fact that all things can get to certain heights and certain lows that are very unhealthy, and it's not a balance there. But I think that people that are highly empathetic, the feelers, the emotional people that, you know, we feel all things. We pick up on this, we pick up on that, good, bad, and indifferent, whether we want to or we don't. I feel like sometimes anxiety is a gift. And the reason why I do feel that way is because people that have anxiety a lot of times can have a strong intuition or a greater gift of discernment. And what I mean by that is that as people that can feel so strongly to where it moves us physically, it's literally a sign. And I think that all humans embody it, and it is a survival mechanism. The issue lies when we get into a space where in your day-to-day life you begin to have anxiety attacks and panic attacks, and you're having anxiety for no reason other than the fact that you're looking at your to-do list. That is where it becomes an issue, and it's not natural. You should not be living your day-to-day life in a state of being anxious. And so while I did cover some of the physical symptoms, and I also covered some of the things that can be going through your mind, and I also covered some of the things that can trigger you, there are many more things that are on this list. I'm just doing a quick video so that you guys can get your feet wet. And I'm going to go into this, I think, on a part 2 for sure, because it's a topic that I could elaborate on greatly. And I'm going to talk about some other things, but for now, I want to keep going, and I want to say that sometimes children experience anxiety because of their parents going through a divorce. I've noticed and seen that with my own 2 eyes. And I think that people that move around a lot and don't have a strong security or a strong foundational family system can sometimes experience high levels of anxiety as well. So I want to create these videos that I'm going to also elaborate a little bit further on in the future, talking about anxiety, because I want to bring a sort of awareness to this topic that is a little bit different from just sitting in a doctor's office or on a therapist's couch, or just talking about it online. I wanted people to feel like they could have somewhere and go say, oh my God, that's what I'm feeling. This is what I know triggered it, and what can I do? What can I do? So let's talk a little bit about some of the natural things that you can do on a regular basis from the privacy of your own car or home in order to lower your anxiety if you get a little anxious. Now, I didn't list everything that could trigger anxiety because there's no way of doing that. There's no way of gauging that, because we have a whole world and a whole nation of people that have been triggered in different ways, and there will be no way to list every individual person's feelings. So I just gave a short list. I would love if you guys added to that. But I also wanted to say that it's not even just about measuring these lists. It's about acknowledgement, because I know that a lot of people have felt dismissed during their experience, and some of the things that you may feel or some of the things that may have triggered you, people may have been like, no way. And there is no way to gauge that. So this is a safe space, and I want people to know that this is a no judgment zone. I know people personally that have also, I want to talk about this other physical symptom, that have felt a physical pain, like in their joints and their muscles. Their neck may get stiff. These are physical things that can be accompanied simply due to being highly anxious for a high period of time. It can definitely affect with your heart condition, your breathing. And I think that I want to talk about the holistic ways we can get through that right now. So one of the easiest ways that I would say, if you're in a state of anxiety and you're almost on the brink of a panic attack, or you're full blown getting ready to have one, right? And you feel it and your anxiety is up and you are maybe at level 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't say this can go from level 1 to level 5. Let's say you're at level 2, which is pretty high still. One of the things that you can do in order to relax yourself and calm yourself down is to breathe in a paper bag. That is one of the things that you can do that I know helps. Breathing in, I'm talking about literally blowing your breath in the bag and inhaling it. You have the bag wrapped around your mouth like that, tightly. Another thing that you can do that as much as you need to at that moment. I would say give yourself at least a minute to do that, you know, and not trying to breathe too fast, but like, you know, like it, because a lot of times anxiety can bring about hyperventilation, but you don't want to hyperventilate. You want to breathe in a meditative form. You want to breathe in, hold it a little, breathe out. You want to try to slow your breathing down in order to relax your mind and your body. So talking about breathing, another way to kind of deal with your anxiety, you know, these are just tools. You may have to use all of these tools. You may be able to use one in order to work with. You may need more than the ones I'm giving you, but meditation works. And we can do something right now. I can give you guys that works for me if I feel like I'm just going in, and it's just breathing in for 4 seconds, holding it for 4 seconds, and breathing out. And let's do it together. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and release it as hard as you feel like you need to. For me, the release, being heavy, works greatly. Like even me just doing that twice right now, it actually did relax me a few notches. I also want to talk about other things like stretching. Stretching is very important for anxiety. One of my go-tos 10 years back and even today, I will always go to a bath. I feel like a bath is an amazing space for any form of a mental situation that can be controlled under the roof of your own home. I would say that just taking a warm bath and relaxing and laying back for however long you can do that is beneficial. Sometimes for some people, taking a cold shower, because it kind of puts your body into shock to like bring you back to reality. Taking a cold shower is very therapeutic if you are drawn to swimming or cold water. So these are some things that you can do. I'm gonna also list some more things, and I hope that this video can bring some light and some clarity to whoever is going through this right now. Having an overly busy schedule, a hectic schedule, being on a hamster wheel. These are things that could bring about anxiety in an individual. These are things that could bring about a panic if you're looking at a list that's just overwhelming and you're like, how am I going to do all of this and I'm only one person? And there are ways that we can work with this besides being hooked on pharmaceuticals, besides relying on pharmaceuticals. This is not any blow against that, because we need to always get checked and be able to say, this is going to work for me. But I think that we can always operate from a place of kind of like managing our own things, at least as a trying, at least to try. So getting back to the stretching, breathing, meditating, taking a bath, a warm bath or a hot bath, a cold shower. Another thing that I really, really like, and I don't know if you guys are experienced with kava, but I love kava tea, and I like going to a kava lounge that I was introduced to by a friend of mine. But if you want to just grab a quick remedy from a store, kava tea is amazing for just relaxing you down a couple of notches in order to just lower that heart rate, in order to just bring some type of aura over you that is more calming versus more hectic. I want to say also, a lot of these things that I'm listing, I actually do use. I think that going for walks, being in nature, working out, anything, any type of physical activity, if you're in a relationship, even being sexually intimate with your partner, if you're in a relationship, hugging your partner, kissing your partner, them hugging and kissing you, having your hair stroked, them doing something as simple as this on the palm of your hand. These are things that can all be relaxing if you have a partner, if you have somebody to work with. If you're dealing with this, I just want you to know, like, it is not the end of the world. This is your gift. This is your superpower. You just have to gain control over yourself. It's not about saving the entire community of anxiety, of anxious people, of panic attack driven people. It's about coming to a place where you can save yourself and you can implement the tools that worked for you on a regular basis, and you can share those things with the world so that people can heal themselves. So sometimes I think that even death can trigger people that have anxiety. I recently lost my father, and that was when I had an anxious moment. And it was okay. I was able to sit down the next day and understand that it came to me to show me in a physical and a mental sense that this is what's taking place in my body right now. And it's okay for me to sit down and relax. So I want to also say, one of the things that would trigger me, like straight up, if I'm not getting the proper rest that I need, if I'm up for days and days and days and I'm not getting sleep, that is a recipe for anxiety if you are already stressed. If you're in a rush all the time, like for me, I have to take my time showering. It doesn't take me a long time to get dressed, but I'm gonna take my time in my process to get dressed, as far as taking my shower, exfoliating my body, lotioning my body. These are things that bring relaxation to my day. So I hope that with watching this video, somebody somewhere was able to receive something that can calm them down today. And I hope that while watching this video, somebody somewhere was able to stop blaming themselves for being a person that suffers from anxiety, whether it's at a large scale or a low scale. And I hope that somebody somewhere watching this video right now can feel the love that radiates from me to you, telling you that this will be okay. This can be conquered. And this is a gift that is literally able to be worked with if you're in the space that you can. And if you're a person that has tried all the things I listed, plus 500 other things, you may need to see your medical practitioner. And that is okay as well. Some people only want to conquer things from a natural space. When we have all of these tools, the world is literally full of tools for us as humans that inhabit this planet. We have people that are used as vessels. We have items that are used for tools. We have sage, we have doctors, we have shamans. We have a sisterhood and a brotherhood. We have our children. Let's be very open-minded and sensitive to this topic and understand that there is no template, and the things that work for 500 people will not work for the next 500. And the thing that works for me may not work for you. But you do have a place where you can say, I know that somebody understands. I'm not alone. I am a domestic violence survivor, and I get triggered when somebody yells at me. We're going to go into this a little bit deeper. So stick around for part 2 with me, Shea Butter Love. And if it's your first time following me, please feel free to follow me on all my social media platforms. Shea Butter Love, one word, 2 E's, and feel free to share the video. Words of wisdom, words of encouragement, free game. Peace.